Hello.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to the Cru Bouge.
Welcome to Cru Bouge. How's your week?
Yeah, week 2.
Week 2.
Oh,
I'm already sipping. Oh man.
man. It's been a crazy week. How's your week been?
Not the same. They're all the same. They are all the same. But I'm happy to be
I really do
drinking.
feel like
So this is Beaujolais week. We both have bottles of
yes,
Beaujolais. Um,
for our name,
what
the
are you
namesake of
drinking?
our blog, the namesake of our blog.
Yes.
So you know me, I'm so extra when it comes to certain things, but I think we already we were already fans of like Beaujolais, but then it was like, oh, we're gonna do this podcast, and then it's kind of like, what should we call ourselves? And then it's like, oh, Cru Beaujolais. But in any case, I am drinking this week. It is Georget de Boeuf. But ooh, do not pay attention to my nails. This is COVID time, people. Do not judge.
There should be no.
So, but yeah. So, fun fact. Well, this is it's a Beaujolais, 2018. It's been given 90 points by JamesSuckling.com.
Awesome.
So it's super fruity. Like it's one of the fruitier ones. And very cherry colored. You can't really see, but it's
Mm-hmm.
super cherry, kind of purpley, but big fruit flavor, low tannin. But that's just because most Beaujolais are low tannin anyway, just because of what they are. And how they're made. And that's what I'm drinking this week. A good 14.5% alcohol. And I need it because I
Nice.
have a 14.5% alcohol week.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
14.5. So I don't know if you can't really see, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It
have
looks a
better
little bit
lighting for you
darker
guys
than
next week.
mine. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe they look about the same.
yeah, but super fruity, kind of light, but at the same time, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Very smooth.
Good.
Hopefully by the end of this, I will have poured a second glass.
Oh, I hope so.
Mm.
I like
So
to
yeah,
do
that's
like
what
you
I'm
do
drinking.
it.
Of course it's French.
Yes.
All Beaujolais is French
I actually
because it
have
comes
some
from.
really cool wine facts about Beaujolais, which I'll get into in a little bit.
Okay, definitely sounds good. I'm gonna fill in some holes too. I'm so excited. You know me, I'm such a geek.
I'm a geek when it comes to wine and certain things. I'm a geek about things that I love. So I'm always excited to learn new facts about wine.
Yum
Um,
yum.
so I am drinking. So all this time I've been ordering. I have a couple of like wine clubs, and I go to Total Wine probably every other weekend. And I have lots and lots of wine, but I don't have a lot of Beaujolais. And so when you said you had a bottle of Beaujolais, I was like, I gotta go get me one because I don't have any in my stash of wines. And I was gonna go to Total
Mm-hmm.
Wine, but then I realized there is a wine shop, a little neighborhood wine shop, literally 8 minutes away from me, 8 walking minutes. And so I walked in there and I was
Uh-huh.
just like, I need a Beaujolais. So
They
so
were like, we got you.
yeah, I went in there very special. and,
Mm-hmm.
and he was great. So I am drinking a Domaine de Toulon, and this is
Uh-huh.
from the Beaujolais. I believe they pronounce it Villages.
Yes.
It's a 2019. I
Mm-hmm.
am. I was pleasantly surprised because
Mm-hmm.
the last Beaujolais I had a couple months ago didn't really care for, but
Mm-hmm.
I was also drinking a lot of wines in addition to it. So I don't know what happened, but that particular one, I just remember thinking like, oh, I think someone went home and I was like, and take this bottle of Beaujolais with you because I didn't care
Oh,
for it.
take, keep it with you. Let me go ahead and cork it back up for you.
Yeah, it's like, here, take this out of my house. But this I really, really enjoy. Like you said, it's kind of the same kind of ruby color.
Hmm.
A little bit on the pale side because I can see the stem of my glass through it, but really interesting, like kind of nice floral notes, strawberry, cherry, and almost get a little bit of like candied fruit. Like there's a sweetness to it as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and then as soon as I drink it, the first thing I got from it, it reminded me of a cherry pie, like just a cherry pie that you have in the fall or maybe summertime.
Yeah.
I've always had it in the fall, and that's
Mhm.
exactly what this reminded. It's cherry pie in a glass, but super silky.
It's
Um,
my cherry pie.
I was so excited I
Conquering.
had to take a sip right there. It's really good. This is 13.5%. And that is what's in my glass.
That sounds good. I'm so glad that we're both doing Beaujolais this week. Um, it's just so interesting. Didn't, I think when we first started like drinking wine and all that kind of stuff, just looking at the fact that, oh, I got mine. Oh, not just random. Of course, I didn't go to Total Wine. I didn't go anywhere else. I went to Trader Joe's and it was $6.99.
Oh,
So
yes.
this is the bottom, $6.99. So you guys can go in. And that's Houston, Texas prices. Anywhere else might be something different, but that's what I ended up with. So
Mine wasn't too bad. Mine was $15.
that's good.
Mhm.
That is good. Um, so let's get into some fun wine facts, some Beaujolais. Let's see what we know. Let's see
I
what we
know.
know.
I'm so
Let's
excited
see.
to compare notes.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
Hmm.
You want to go first? Oh,
No.
okay. All right. Well, I will go first. So, Beaujolais. Beaujolais. Well, we'll start off with this. So this is first, and I was like, okay, this is 100% gamay grapes. So I decided to kind of delve into the whole gamay background.
Oh, great, because I didn't go in that way.
Oh, okay, cool, good.
Hmm.
So really, really interesting about this grape. So as of 2015, all red wines from Beaujolais or the Beaujolais region can no longer contain any other grape other than Gamay. So if you see anything 2015, it's going to be all 100% Gamay for
Wow.
Beaujolais.
I
And I
didn't know
believe
that.
they're like the other 2% are like the white wines, mainly Chardonnay.
Hmm.
So Gamay is originally from Burgundy, and it's been around since, well, the earliest known history of Gamay has been since kind of the late 1300s. But I think the most exciting, well, let me back up just a little bit. So, who's your daddy? So, Gamay. Gamay is the child of, it's really interesting, Pinot Noir, because that is kind of what I get from, well, kind of, with a Beaujolais, kind of that very light red, kind of that
Mhm.
silky, very fruity. So Pinot Noir, and the other grape is called I can say this, I
Do
can
it.
do it,
Do
I
it.
can do it. It's called a
Do it.
Gua, Gua, Gua Blanc, Gua.
Do it.
It's in that
Do it.
region. So the Pinot
Uh-huh.
Noir and the
Uh-huh.
Gua or Gouais Blanc
Uh-huh.
grape, they have created the Gamay. And
Mhm.
guess who is a sibling of Gamay? Very
Who
popular white grape, Chardonnay.
didn't know?
Yeah, so
Well, I guess
Chardonnay
that makes
is,
sense because that's the only other thing that's grown in the region is Chardonnay grapes.
yes. Yeah. So let's see. Going back to Burgundy, where
Uh-huh.
Gamay is originally from. So in
Or
1395,
Burgundy if you're from New Orleans. Or Burgundy.
Burgundy. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh. So, 1395, the Duke of Burgundy banned Gamay. He was like, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Nope.
He said, you are not like your mom and daddy. You're not elegant. You're not sophisticated. And basically, we don't want to waste our land growing you. So that's that's my version. That's my takeaway of it. But
How
officially, that's
rude.
what happened. And then it found its way to Beaujolais. I was going to say Burgundy, but that's the wrong one. Found its way to Beaujolais. And since then, it has thrived and become Beaujolais wine that we now
Okay.
know. Let's see. I think that is pretty much the wine facts that I have for good old Gamay. So I'll turn it over to
So,
you.
I'm so extra. I mean, it's so extra, Wikipedia extra, but it's funny because I'll take it back a couple of centuries past that.
Ooh, okay.
hmm So like the gamay grapes, or like the ancestors of the gamay grape, were first planted and cultivated by the Romans.
Okay.
And they planted it along their trade routes in France. So once they were conquering everything,
Yeah.
they planted it along their trade routes in France. And so the Saône River, I've been practicing my pronunciation, the Saône River, or Rive, whatever. And so from the seventh century to the Middle Ages, they had all of the viticulture, all of the winemaking, everything was done by the Benedictine monks.
Oh.
They were keeping the party going.
Yes, monks. Yes.
So they were doing all the viticulture. And then, so 10th century, exactly like around like the time that you had everything you were talking about. So I'm just kind of picking up there. Let's see here. Well, in any case, one of the names that I love. So there were these lords of Bouge. So that's kind of where they got the name from, is the Lord. So that's where it came from. So Bouge or Beaujolais, whatever, is the city that they kind of started all of this. Like, so that's where like Beaujolais kind of was birthed, was like in this city. And then, so about the 15th century.
Lord of Bouge.
Yeah. So this is kind of Lord of Bouge. I did the, I love to do the whole, the pronunciation just so I can pretend like I can speak French, even though I can't speak French. But so the Lords of Bouge or Beaujolais, whatever, they ceded it. So around the 15th century, it was ceded to the Duchy of Burgundy, which is what you just talked about. So it was ceded to them.
Okay.
And so then you pick up with all of your information. And around 1980 was when this guy, Georges de Beauf, whatever, I'm messing up his name, he really went hard at making it popular. So he went on this whole like campaign of making it popular. But so this guy is kind of like known as like the grandfather, the godfather of Beaujolais. So I'm actually excited that, that's the Beaujolais I picked for this week. But so this guy, and I'm going to keep calling him this guy. Oh, Georges.
Yes, I love that.
So he was born in where did I get that? He was born in this is like terrible. We're working on it, people. But he was born in 1933. And it's funny because back then, I'm sure they had no child labor laws. So they had him using the hand crank wine press at 6 years old.
Wow.
So he started in the winemaking process at 6 years old, and they were, kind of doing the whole collaborative grouping of grapes and all that kind of stuff from the different vineyards. And then at 18, he was Uber Eats via bike, but he was delivering wine via bike at 18.
Cool.
And then like right about now, they're bottling up about 2.5 million bottles. He passed it on to his son. So yeah, 2.5 million bottles a year. 2.5 million cases, not bottles. So 2.5 million cases a year. Yeah, that's a lot of wine, right? So
wow, yeah.
I think that one thing that everyone always describes Beaujolais. So, if you're not a red wine drinker, this is an easy wine to start drinking. part of the reason why I guess it was the king or whoever decided he wanted to burn up all the fields was because it was cheap. The wine itself was cheap and produced more cheaply,
Mm.
and it was better when it was younger. And back then everything was about age or whatever. So a good Beaujolais is supposed to be like a year or two old, not
Yeah,
5, 10, 20. But
right.
that's me being extra on
No,
Wikipedia.
that's amazing. Not extra. Extra. um, yeah, so some of the good things that will pair well with a Beaujolais is I saw like delicate nutty cheeses, so kind of like a ricotta, brie, Havarti, um, sour cream. I was like going through whenever I don't drink wine every day, but I drink it maybe a couple times a week and definitely on the weekends. But whenever I'm gonna open, like today, I knew I was gonna open up this bottle, and so I was like, what do I want to eat? Like, what's gonna pair well with this? And first I was like, ooh, maybe something like Mexican with like sour cream. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, I settled on a chicken sandwich because also chicken pork chops go really well with this. Yeah, this is a perfect wine for a charcuterie board. Like, and
So I actually started. So I have like I'm a half a bottle. So I made last night a so I would say last night, but I kind of started it. But I did a Cajun
oh,
um turkey sausage
oh my
and
gosh.
peppers and onions, but I used cauliflower rice.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
And I used a little bit of the powdered roux to thicken it up.
Okay.
It was delicious and it paired perfectly with this wine. It was
Nice.
just the right, so I had put the right amount of heat in it. So this is actually really good for heat also.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
are a person that likes spicy food, this wine will be perfect for spicy food. Um, I think it's the right amount of heavy for like just starting to inch our way into the fall season,
Yeah.
and beginning to eat a little heavier than what we have been doing all summer. But I don't know, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, let me try this. I sat down and I started eating and I was like, oh, this works.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. This is definitely, I love this so much more. And now I want to go and try a lot more Beaujolais because
Mhm.
this is good. This is delicious.
And
This
I'm
is
really
a
enjoying
wine
it.
that I could drink. Like, if I drank every night, this is one of those that I would have a glass of because it's light enough. And yeah,
And
super
it has
fruity.
all the good, what is it, the catechins, what is it, all the good red wine stuff. um So yeah, and it's funny. Oh, this is also hand harvested.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Amazing, right? So
That is
hand
amazing.
harvested. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's hand harvested. That was one thing that I did forget. I did have that in my notes, but I've since thrown the notes away. So, and I'm gone full on Beaujolais wine. So perfection. So how was your week otherwise? What was one like interesting thing that happened this week for you?
Oh gosh.
I mean, you guys aren't on fire anymore right now, so right?
Yeah, no, not on fire, which is great. Although it's been really hot. It's starting to cool down again, thank goodness. Because we are middle of October and there's no reason that it should be like 90 degrees, but it's finally cooling off. What's one good thing that happened this week? Oh gosh.
Or one crazy thing, one strange thing. I know I kind
I
of,
will say a crazy thing. I might regret this, but you know what? It is what it is because sometimes these things happen.
Mhm.
So I was having maybe a little too much wine last Friday,
Maybe.
and I didn't really have anything in my stomach. This is the problem,
Hmm.
which I know better. But the wine was just so good. I was just drinking. I was just having a good time. And then I was like, you know what? Before it gets dark, I want to go out and get some dinner. And so I walked down my steps and walk through my little like. So I'm in a back house, and so I have to like go through like a couple of other locations to get out front to my car. Well, I may have sort of stumbled into a bush.
Sort of stumbled? Or did you do the full-on Homer Simpson back into the bush that way? Like, full on.
It was more of a sideways stumble. But I will say, here's the great thing. This is the great thing. Is I bounced my way out of that bush and kept it moving. So my reflexes are still great.
You said you bounced your way out of the bush
this week.
Oh my goodness, bounced your way out of the bush. That is hilarious.
What about
Hilarious.
you? What happened? Is that really sad that
So
that was
it's funny.
crazy?
I think like one of the things that happened this week that was very interesting. So I don't know. I just, because of the state of like current affairs and stuff like that, like I feel like I have been wanting to do just like better overall. I mean, I'll kind of get around to it. I'm a random storyteller. But there were 2 checks. So I got a knock on the door. It was FedEx. Of course, I'm like masking up. I'm not playing with y'all people. I'm chunky. I'm not trying to get COVID. And so knocked on the door, and it was a guy standing there. He handed me the letter. It was FedEx. And I was like, I looked at it. This isn't me. But okay, fine. So then so somehow I must have been in the apartment or just working hard, working over in like my office area, and which is my dining room table. So working over in my office area, and I could hear the envelopes being put under my door. So and mind you, I just told the same guy that these were not my letters. Okay. But he was just determined to deliver them. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can figure out who these people are. You know me, I went into detective mode. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to call on my resident detective, Maria. I'll make sure I let her know that I mentioned her in this podcast. But when I tell you this chick can find anybody, she's missing her calling, not being an investigator.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in any case, so I went online. It's funny because I remember like the difference. She's like, no, you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here. So I found these people, sent him an email, dude, come get your, and so I opened up one of the letters because I was like, maybe it's just like some BS, or maybe it's something from the IRS. You know what I mean? Like you just never know, right? Of course, it's a check. Oh. A sizable check. Oh. I'm like, they want this money. So I called them, told the guy, I'm gonna sit it outside my door. I was like, don't knock on my door. You text me and let me know when you get here. I got 2 letters. So evidently he's a person who lived in my apartment. I've been here for more than a year. So, okay. So it was a person who lived here. So it was some reimbursement that they needed to get. And I mean, it was a sizable check, not a small check. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something that I will want someone to do for me. Absolutely. So I went the extra mile and found out, like everything. And the guy was so nice. He was like, well, he's like, I got to do something. Mind you, he's standing all the way across the hall because I was like, let me just sit it outside. So I'm like looking crazy sitting it outside. And he was like, please, like, let me do something for you. I was like, you know what? What you can do for me? I was like, I like seafood. Feel free. And he sent me a gift card for Uber freaking Eats.
That's really cool.
$50 gift card. No, mind you, awesome. his check was considerable. Right. But and then he sent me an email back. He was like, thank you so much. He's like, you did not have to do this. He was like, I would have been fighting with FedEx, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that was a good thing that happened to me this week. Hopefully I'm paying it forward.
That's so awesome,
anyone, if you all get money or you see something that's, might have my name on it, Ro Brett Vaden, please find me.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
So that's what I did this week. It was pretty cool.
Beautiful.
And it's a little scary, but crazy, but everything. Like if you own a home, people can find you. If
Mhm.
you know, have any type of internet, and then with this whole like facial recognition stuff that I didn't even know existed,
Oh,
where you
wow.
literally could be like, find this person, and they can go through all of these different like profile pictures and find that person. Yeah, it doesn't pay to be a cheater, doesn't pay to be a liar, doesn't pay to be anything right now in 2020. Because
That's
people like me have a little bit too much time. We will
I
find you.
Google myself every now and again, but nothing interesting comes up. So I'm still safe as far as I know.
Man, it's so funny because I was at, one point going through a security clearance,
Mhm.
and I was like, let me Google myself. I was like, whoa, let me fix a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
but
wow.
but I mean, I think anybody who knows me, or you guys will get to
Yeah.
know me, I have done everything.
You've done a lot. You've had your own business. Also, you have a very peculiar name. So yeah, not peculiar, but it's
There's
not
not another person who's Robret Vaden. So,
right. You
there's not going to be anyone anywhere else. It's,
yeah.
there's, it's me. Like, it's me. So, you know, but yeah, this has been great. I've so enjoyed this chit chat.
I know this has been good. Well, I'm gonna pour another glass and wind down for the evening.
Sounds amazing.
All right. Well, until next week, thanks for joining us at Cru Bouge.
Cru Bouge.
Bye.
Oh, all right. Bye.